Conquest.
Mythologies. Oh, god damn it, Corey. Are you ready to do this shit again?
Fucking no. Neither one of us wants to do this again.
Our third time, we had such a beautiful recording, a lovely send-off to the Zero Sugar Cherry Coca-Cola energy drink.
I'm talking about that. I put money and effort into that.
So, all right. Hey, friends of the show. Hey, listeners.
Fuck. We've truly lost it. We spent all of our good podcast energy earlier, and now we're going to do a bad podcast.
Corey and I already recorded this episode, and then some dingus lost his audio just like 2 hours ago. So we are doing this episode again. Corey put in all this nice effort. He went out, he got himself some Zero Sugar Coke energy and a Cherry Coke energy, and he mixed them together.
We had a beautiful service for our lost love, slain viciously at the hands of the Coca-Cola company, and
the evil Coca-Cola company,
who we're gonna reach out to see if they'll give us free stuff.
Yes,
for supporting their drink so good. And I had zero sugar and full sugar cherry, and if you've been listening for a long time, you know I hate both of them deeply in how they taste. And I did a little bit of taste testing, mix and matching. We goofed, we laughed, we yucked, and then we talked about a pretty mediocre book. And now it's all dead.
Yeah. So
much like our beloved drinks, and by our I mostly mean Neal's.
So here's what I'm going to do. I think at this point, Corey, I'm going to try to insert your side of the Coke Energy taste test. And then it's time to say goodbye to my beloved Zero Sugar Cherry Coca-Cola energy drink.
I'm going to take my zero sugar sip, and then I'm going to take the cherry sip, and I'm just going to let that happen to me, and then I'll debrief. So here we go, bottoms up, cheers. Clinked. I doubt that picked up, but there's a lot going on. Holy sorry to all Neals on this call, but that shit sucks. Yeah, sorry.
Rest in power, Coke Energy.
Fuck yeah. That was a really satisfying crack. And truly it's all we have.
All right. Should we get right into the meat of this
God,
thing?
I can't even do fun crack noises because I've opened those cans already.
So we're here today, much like we did with the Mortal Kombat 95 novel. We're going to talk about the Mortal Kombat Annihilation novel. Corey and I already have done this once. So, Corey, I just want you to do your best acting job as I reveal crazy shit to you.
I'll tell you right now, I already don't remember some of it because it was a very unimpressive book.
It is.
I'm sure some of it's already left my brain.
We'll sum that up right here at the top. The Annihilation novel is not nearly as wild and awesome as the Mortal Kombat 95 novel.
Pete and Jesse nowhere to be seen. Crimmins nowhere to be seen.
And we had a great bit about how Pete, Jesse, and Crimmins had an unlikely team up and were the focus of the Annihilation novel, and that's lost.
I like how we're so unwilling to recreate bits that we will list off funny stuff that we said and not say it again.
I think
but that feels appropriate given the circumstances.
It does. We were talking about this cursed movie / book one more time.
People listen to podcasts. This happens to podcasts, you know? Every podcast is an episode where the hosts come on and they're fucking pissed off. And they're just like, God damn it. We have to do this all over again.
But we're doing it for you. Mostly Paul.
Yeah.
Paul, this one's mostly for you, buddy. All right. So, after we talk about the novel, we're going to get hyped for Defenders of the Realm. That's going to be a real pick-me-up. That's going to help us out here. But let's get through this novel first.
Yeah.
I'm so mad. I'm so fucking mad, dude.
Hey, man, it happens, you know, like...
I'm so pissed. I don't talk about this novel again.
Look, I think, honestly, I'm going to level with you.
Sure.
Sit and think for a second about, I don't know, the 5 most notable things about this novel that are different. While you're doing that, I'm going to make a point that I think is fair about what you said last time we talked, and my recommendation will be that we prioritize just discussing the especially notable things and then can just sort of get on with our lives there are a handful of changed details that are worth discussing.
It's primarily...
We've already been here. We're in hell.
Our realm is collapsing around us. We are merging with the chaos realm as we speak. All right, let's get into this. First of all, there are some big changes. Fuck that. There's not even that many big changes. There are some changes to the core storyline. We get some information in the book that the movie did not give us that helps things make just a tiny bit more sense, but not really. Like, towards the beginning of the story, we do get the explanation for Shao Kahn's method of invading Earth. Raiden reveals to Sonya and the boys that Shao Kahn buried the body of his bride Sindel on Earth and then resurrected her, which gives him access to Earthrealm. That's pretty in keeping with Mortal Kombat canon, the way that the story in Mortal Kombat 3 and in Mortal Kombat 9, played out. The movie didn't even touch that at all. The closest we got to an explanation in the movie was the portals opened and Raiden said, what closed can also be reopened.
Raiden with a classic nugget of fucking wisdom.
That somehow Sindel was the key to all of this shit, except she actually wasn't. The key was the Elder Gods intervening. It's a bad movie.
It's not a great movie.
We also get a little bit more information on Raiden and Shinnok and Shao Kahn's relationship when Liu Kang is asking Raiden why Shinnok is betraying Earthrealm and favoring Shao Kahn, Raiden's brother in this universe, for some stupid reason. Raiden's like, yeah, well, years ago, Daddy decreed that his heir to the family throne must be strong enough to kill his own brother in battle if necessary. Raiden beat Shao Kahn but couldn't kill him, and as punishment for his weakness, he was banished to the realm of Earth. So this book sets up the idea that Raiden isn't Earthrealm's protector, by choice or duty. He was sent to Earth in timeout, basically.
Yeah, he was grounded and sent to Earth.
Grounded by his cranky dad.
He spent so long here that he just sort of decided that he actually liked it now.
Yeah.
And that's the whole reason we have any of this, is because Shinnok was a shitty dad, and Raiden didn't want to kill his family members, and he got stuck with us. Much in the way that we're stuck with this book for a second time.
Now, to be fair, Shinnok was also shitty to Shao Kahn in the book quite a bit. That's a rough thing to say, Shinnok shitty to Shao Kahn. You
should say it 2 more times and fast.
No. There's this weird scene in the book where
shitty to Shao Kahn. Shinnok shitty to Shao Kahn. Okay. We're not... Okay. We're not doing this.
There's this weird scene in the book where Shao Kahn's hanging out in his throne room, and he's got these pet crabs. These Volco crabs, they're called.
Pardon? Come again?
Volco crabs.
Volco. So,
yes.
Here's I've actually heard that term before. Here's an interesting thing. You might not know this. I don't know if it's in the book. Maybe it's in the footnotes. It's only a Volco crab if it comes from the Volco region of Outworld. Otherwise, it's just a weird crab.
Corey just doing bits over again.
Hey, man, if it's a good bit, there is no reason for me to not say it again.
It's like how it's only champagne.
Nobody would have even known. Yeah.
If you're in the Champagne region of France.
Exactly like that.
Where they just call it us.
Hello, would you like to drink some of us? But
anyway,
put it into Google Translate, make it French.
Okay, so anyway, Shao Kahn's hanging out with his crabs, and he feeds them like a big worm. And then Shinnok, his dad, comes in, and this is the scene in the movie where Shao Kahn's sort of bragging about how well the invasion is going. And Shinnok asks him if he killed Raiden, and Shao Kahn's like, Raiden's of no concern to us. And then Shinnok just kind of gets mad and yells in the movie.
Yeah, because that's a very roundabout way of saying, no, I didn't do the thing you asked.
In the book, Shinnok just fucking tosses Shao Kahn around the throne room like a basketball.
That would have been sick. I'm picturing fucking balls that man up like Mike Wazowski. Just dunks him into a trash can.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mike Wazowski was not born like that. He got basketballed. Not everybody knows that. Pixar's been trying to keep that secret.
Was that in Monsters University? Because I haven't seen Monsters University.
It's the post-credits scene.
It's in the Monsters University novelization, but not in the theatrical cut.
It's a tease to the new Space Jam, which is why there's dunking involved. And
There
it took
you go.
years to finish Space Jam.
Am I right in remembering they released that picture of Space Jam and there's like Mortal Kombat characters in it?
Yeah,
Or are we just assuming there's going to be?
No, like Scorpion is like in it. I think Quan Chi is also definitely in it.
Right.
It's truly we simply do not have the time to truly dissect the lunacy of Space Jam: A New Legacy.
They already did this shit with Ready Player One. They stuck Goro in that.
Ready Player Fun, am I right?
Pew, 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 pew. All right, so
hey listeners, I'm here to tell you that Ready Player One fucking sucks. Anyway, I felt like I needed to speak my truth there for a second. We can move on.
it's got that Akira bike in it in the movie. That's pretty tight.
That means it's good. Yep.
It was just, it was cool to see. That's all. So Shao Kahn in the novel is kind of painted as like sort of a loser, right? He's definitely not bringing big dick energy to the novelization like he was in the movie. He has a beard, so that's kind of weird.
What kind of beard is it? Do we know?
Just a beard, just like
Well,
probably
what
like
does that mean?
I
You've
imagine
got
like
one,
the
but,
lead
like,
singer of Smash Mouth, where it's like pencil thin and just sort of traces his chin.
I can't even. That's not a beard.
I
That
know,
is
but it's
not
funny.
a beard.
It's funny to think about.
Does the lead singer of Stone Temple Pilots have a beard?
There you go. Referencing
That's a call
something that's going
forward.
to come up later.
Oh, I believe the term for that is foreshadowing. That's a call forward.
All right, before we get to that,
Sorry for anyone driving who just...
we do have some character differences. Some like different characters show up. They show up in different places. We should run through that. The biggest thing is that Shao Kahn's generals in the novel, instead of being Sindel, Shiva, Motaro, and Ermac and Rain, it's Sindel, Shiva, Motaro, Ermac, and Baraka instead. Baraka gets like a much more active role in the novel. He even gets to fuck around and fight with Sonya and the boys at the beginning, where Johnny Cage also has a lot more to do at the beginning of this movie. He's got like parts of the book where they like follow his narration. Like he's in like the first 1 to 2 chapters. He doesn't just get like broken in half right away. That doesn't happen until after like Shao Kahn and Raiden have been fighting for a while, and Raiden is just beating the absolute shit out of Shao Kahn until he gets that whip and captures Sonya, right? But before all that's happening, the Sonya and the boys are duking it out with Ermac and Motaro and the other generals. Way better of an opening, honestly. A lot more action, a lot more fights. It wasn't just like dudes falling from the sky and everyone standing around looking at Shao Kahn and Raiden sort of slap fight each other.
A lot more swords with arms, or... Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah, a lot more swords with arms.
Think about it.
Several more arms. He's got one joke. This is new for you, right? I'm going to read this little snippet.
It might be.
From the novel. Raiden pressed his attack, catapulting himself toward his opponent through streams of deadly energy pulses, assailing him with a barrage of shock punches and gravity-less quadruple flip kicks.
What terrible writing that is, really quick.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Awesome, Liu Kang muttered, watching from the sidelines. Johnny heard him and managed a wan smile. The shoes, he said. It's got to be the shoes.
Managed to what?
W-A-N.
Wan smile?
Yeah, I don't fucking know, dude. I copied and
Hold
pasted
on.
that right out of the PDF version. I have not checked it out in the paperback.
Wan.
I do have the paperback. I spent $30 on it. That's out of the way. We're not to go through that again.
It's just giving me the word wanton, which is not what I wanted.
Oh, maybe this book needed an editor.
Wan. Of a person's complexion or appearance, pale and giving the impression of illness or exhaustion. Of a smile.
That's probably...
Of a smile. Hold on, there's a third definition. It's about smiles.
Oh, shit.
Weak or strained.
Okay.
Could also be a wide area network.
Yeah, that's what it was. Johnny, he got that vaccine.
Thank God
So
Google
he's-
is telling me as a tip that one is sometimes confused with want.
Okay.
Sick, dude. Shit.
A James Wan smile.
Yeah, maybe because he smiles really big. Oh.
Anyway.
Anyway.
Another big change to the other Outworld warriors, you know, the dudes we see in the movie with the swords and shit.
Heard of them.
In the novel, the extermination squads all have bionic armor, plasma lances, and plasma swords.
This is still fucking funny. They turned all the goons into Master Chief.
They did. Yeah, or like stormtroopers at the very least, or something.
I just want to
right?
reiterate that that Neal just said that they have plasma swords, bionic armor, and plasma swords, which is fucking so wild. And you know, I love hanging out with my friend, the Arbiter, and doing Halo shit because I am fucking John Master Chief.
John Master Chief. Corey, you still got those Halo 3 posters up on your walls?
How did you know that? When did you hear about that? When did I dox myself?
Back, that was when we recorded with Ben.
I talked about having Halo posters?
You've talked about having Halo posters at least twice in the past.
Well, I had two, so I guess it's appropriate. Though, no, they are no longer up. Hate to say
Bummer. I think it's time to dust those bad boys off, put them in a frame, and
they were framed at the time, I
walls.
think.
Well, get a nice modern frame.
I love the idea that I just say shit and I don't even know what I've said anymore.
Yeah, that's why recording this again 2 hours later shouldn't be that big of a deal.
Well, hold on. You were sort of on one as much as I was with this.
Yeah. No, you're right. I'm just...
We didn't draw this up in the book. We didn't schedule it into the book. The book we're talking
Saw.
about a book. Annihilation from the Book of Mortal Kombat.
I think it's more like Mortal Kombat from the Book of Annihilation. One of those is funny. Yours is funny. It'll stay in. Mine's getting the fuck out of here.
Chris Rock from the Book of Film.
Oh my god. I can't believe we're doing this again. All right. We're going to circle back around to the plasma weapons in a little bit, but I want to finish talking about
real quick tease. They might come from a special place.
Let's run through these character things. So we got Baraka as the general instead of Rain. Rain isn't even in this fucking movie.
They should have put more of the budget into giving an actor swords for arms.
Yeah, they saw the Baraka mask and they were like, nope, put Rain in here.
Simply a mismanagement of funding.
Costume.
Yeah.
It is.
Just a bad conceptual idea.
So without Rain being in the novel, the general that is killed by Shao Kahn for capturing Stryker and Cabal but not killing them is just some faceless, nameless general. It's not one of the main characters. It's just somebody referred to as the general or a general. I think we should headcanon that into that being Reiko, because Conquest Reiko was exactly the kind of person who would not kill Earth Warrior prisoners because he's kind of a wuss.
Because he doesn't like violence.
Let's be real.
Reiko, Jesus Christ. Oh, Reiko is a pacifist because he's a wimp, not because he thinks violence is bad.
Yeah, he's just a big fucking wimp in this universe.
Big wet noodle boy. Is that a thing?
It is now.
He's a real Pepsi Blue energy, if you know what I mean.
We're not doing that again.
They don't know what it means.
Yeah, we're not going to tell them either.
No, that's what. Yes, you're right. I'm going to say it, and it's going to be a weird non sequitur. We're going to move on.
We're going to take your vocal track from the first recording. We're going to put it up on our Ko-Fi or Coffee.
We're going to let people pay for it
behind a paywall.
Who in their right mind would pay for an hour of me talking to no one?
I don't know, but we're going to do it. All right. Let's keep going, man.
This is the fatality of pod. Really quick, I just want to contextualize this recording for people a little bit further, because not only are we doing this again, and the book is shitty, but Neal is post second vaccine haze. And I just finished cleaning a bunch of stuff in our house, and I'm just fucking tired and over it now, and I worked at 5 a.m. and we're just we're beyond the pale.
We're doing it for you guys.
We're doing
You're
it
welcome.
Live. Who was the Bill O'Reilly of Mortal Kombat?
I mean, probably Reiko.
Can we get Bill O'Reilly DLC, but he can't throw punches?
Oh, so he's just like a dummy you beat the shit out of in Mortal like that? Sure. Can't even block. Fucking dork.
Just talks a lot.
All right. Another little change. The scene in the center of the Earth. Oh, you guys will all be happy to know that 100% of the Velosphere content is still in the book.
It might even be
more
longer.
so.
Yeah.
There's even more of it in the book. So if you're a real Velosphere hound, there's plenty in here for you. Including one fucking weird thing they did in the book. You know how you probably don't remember this, so I'll remind you, Corey. In the movie where Liu Kang and Kitana are riding the Velosphere through the interchange.
Remember it?
One of Liu Kang's arms comes loose, and Kitana's like, hold on tight to me. And
yeah, they get all the way up on each other. Yeah. How dare you assume I forget the one part of direct intimate contact between our leads?
I'm pretty sure they kiss right after that, but okay.
Well,
in the book.
I forgot that part then.
In the book, it's Kitana whose hand comes loose, and she has to grab onto Liu Kang for dear life.
Is that misogynistic?
Do we give props to... I think we give props to the movie for that, for Kitana being the one in control and familiar with Velosphere technology.
Yeah, there's no good reason in the book why she would be the one to be all discombobulated in the balls.
There really isn't.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, God. So then we get to the scene where they're in the middle of the Earth, right? And when they smooch for the first time. And that's the scene where they fight Cybersmoke in the movie, but Cybersmoke doesn't appear in the book at this point. Instead, we just get an extermination squad of dudes with plasma swords. Sub-Zero still comes in and saves them, but there's no Sub-Zero Scorpion fight. Instead, Scorpion just shows up, wraps his spear around Kitana, grabs her and pulls her through a portal, and that's it. He doesn't even call them suckers or anything. So that's kind of lame.
Which might be the worst example of editorializing that this book could do is not letting Scorpion say suckers.
Cybersmoke instead shows up in a scene we didn't get in the movie. I guess it's a different version of what we got in the movie.
Today, truly, we are the suckers.
Yeah, you're not even fucking kidding. When Sonya fights Melina in the mud in the movie, in the desert or whatever the fuck it was. Instead, that scene takes place in a jungle, and it's Sonya and Jax, and they're not just fighting Melina, it's Melina and Cybersmoke teaming up together to fuck him up. That's a much cooler scene than the shit we got in the movie.
Yeah, that sounds like it would be pretty sick.
It is, and it's also the only acknowledgement we've had in anything in the Threshold universe that reveals that Melina actually acknowledges that Kitana is her half-sister. So that's the only thing that establishes the familial relationship between the two, which is something that didn't happen in Conquest. In Conquest they were completely unrelated, and it was magic that made them look the same. So, I don't know. Does that mean... Do you think Shao Kahn formally adopted Melina sometime after Conquest and before Annihilation?
He might have.
I'd assume
That'd be
so.
pretty sick.
You know what? That checks out.
Just in
That's
terms
canon.
of attempting to be a good parent, which I guess is a pretty low bar for this guy, considering all the reasons he's a very bad parent.
Yeah, cut him some slack. He was a victim of abuse.
Well,
oh fuck.
So were we in having to do this podcast again. Is it funny if the joke every time is just that we've been here before?
Yeah. It's funny for somebody out there. All right, let's talk a little bit about Shiva. Shiva got majorly shafted in the movie, right? She didn't even really get a fight, and she just got a big cage dropped on her.
Yeah.
And in the book, instead of just getting a big cage dropped on her, she actually has a fight as Liu Kang and Raiden and the rest of the crew are going in to rescue Princess Kitana. Shiva shows up to fuck up Liu Kang and is doing a pretty damn good job until Raiden intervenes and they take her on together, and then Raiden calls Shiva a bitch. Yeah, that's weird. But that scene was in place of the scene where Raiden fights the reptile men in the movie.
Right. I do think that we did learn here that, rather, we've learned recently that putting swearing in your Mortal Kombat movie does not necessarily make it better. So maybe that was for the best to keep that one in the book.
Yeah, it's really weird when you have, like, you know, the thunder god of Earthrealm calling somebody a bitch.
I mean, I kind of love that, but I think it's like, you know how PG-13 movies would get one fuck, they could say?
Sure, in a non-sexual context.
You really got to pick your spot to really nail Raiden calling you a bitch.
Yeah, I don't think they did a great job of it in the book.
Well,
anyway, what else do we have? What's the big thing we got to talk about? Let's talk about...
There's some stuff on the ground.
Let's talk about Nightwolf.
Okay, we can do that first.
I want to talk about Nightwolf, the Nightwolf scene. The big thing that somebody hinted to earlier is that Nightwolf in the book is wearing a Stone Temple Pilots t-shirt.
Everyone's favorite band.
And
Stone Temple Pilots.
He does have a little bit more to do in the book. This is new information for you, Corey, even based on the last recording.
Can't believe you were withholding stuff from me.
He tells his backstory a little bit. He says that when Liu Kang's asking him, like, why should I even listen to you? You have no idea what you're doing, like, or why should I trust you? Nightwolf's response is, the body before you may have low mileage, but my soul has been handed down through generations, dating back to the time before the ancient tribes split. Liu Kang says, what does all have to do with stopping Shao Kahn? And Nightwolf says, after the ice melted and the ancient tribe of one spread out across the globe, each people were given a battle secret to keep the playing field even, as they say.
They were given a battle secret?
The keeper of this secret forever lives on sacred land, which is on where you now stand. So basically, he's like, I own a secret to battle.
My animality is called a battle secret.
That's been passed down through generations. And yeah, it's talking about the animality. And he still does the thing where he throws a hatchet at Liu Kang's head and knocks him out. But we do get a little bit of a taste of some of the tests he's putting him through so that he can face his fears. And the one that really stood out to me is that Liu Kang wakes up on the ground, essentially paralyzed, can't move, and is then just swarmed with hundreds of spiders that crawl all over him.
That sucks.
Because he's afraid of spiders. Liu Kang is canonically afraid of spiders.
He has to have some sort of weakness.
Liu Kang, the man who is going to turn into a dragon later on in this story, is afraid of fucking spiders.
He's not going to turn into a spider, Neal. If he could turn into spiders, maybe he'd be less scared of them.
Yeah, I guess you got a point there.
Yeah, it's not like he can turn into a dragon every time he needs to handle a spider.
It seems like a pretty efficient way to handle a spider,
it's simply unrealistic to assume he's got the time... the time... It's simply unreasonable to assume that he's got the time or the energy to do that all the time.
That's fair. That's a fair point, I suppose.
Man, I just realized that we don't have the audio of you spitting shit out your nose.
We don't. I'm so mad about it. That's the thing I'm the most upset about losing, because I would have put that at the end of the episode.
Oh my god, of course. Listeners,
Jesus.
You'll never know. We will not elaborate.
Mythology. Yeah. We'll tell the story on a future episode, then we'll put that up behind a paywall also.
If we keep having technical difficulties, we're going to ride that fucking money train all the way to the bank.
Yeah. So, one last thing about Nightwolf. Jeff talked to us about an earlier draft of the script on our last episode about this fucking movie, where Nightwolf shows back up for the climactic battle. That didn't happen in this. We also know that there was a scene that was filmed that was supposed to introduce Quan Chi into the movie universe to set up a sequel. That was also not in the book. But one thing that was in the book that was pretty important for us is some information about the cobalt mines.
It's our favorite mines.
Yeah, we learn a little bit about what cobalt is and what it's used for, and presumably this is also what they're doing with it in Conquest, even though we never see it. Cobalt is a brittle metallic element that is essential to the production of plasma weapons.
That old chestnut. Everyone knows that. You're in kindergarten. You're not even like 5 goddamn years old, and you have a teacher. They walk up to your desk and you're eating glue or whatever the fuck you're doing, and they come up to you. They point at you dead in your face, and they say, "What does cobalt do?" And you, as a 5-year-old glue-eating child, already know the answer. You say it's used for plasma weapons.
It's for plasma weapons.
And they say, "You're goddamn right it is." And then they karate chop the table and heads. Sorry, I said that wrong at the end. They karate chop the table in half.
They karate chop the table in half with their heads. Yeah. So, it's a naturally occurring mineral in Outworld that all belongs to Shao
Master
Kahn.
Chief. Oh, okay.
And if you are caught stealing it or selling it on the black market, you just get enslaved and forced to work in the mines forever, apparently. And Baraka, of all people in this book, is in charge of the fucking cobalt mines, or at least one of them, right? They do mention there are Shokan guards, which is dope. They also mention there are some mutant nomads with organic metal endoskeletons.
Sure, whatever that means.
And there are these big, spider-like, insectile, 8-legged grots with
that word
shaggy
sucks.
thoraxes.
Wow.
Shaggy thoraxes.
Everything you just said makes me want to cancel this episode of the podcast.
That just run. Is that what happened last time? Did you corrupt my shit on purpose?
I'll never tell.
Because I said shaggy thoraxes.
If you say that one more time, they're going to appear in your house like Beetlejuice.
Oh god, I'm afraid of thoraxes.
And Scooby-Doo characters.
So,
Shaggy.
yeah, there's all kinds of weird,
heard of 'em?
cool Outworld creatures. Yeah, I get you. I was just kind of moving past it. And it's important to note that this is where Princess Kitana is held prisoner in the book. She's not just stuck in a big cage outside Shao Kahn's throne room. She's stuck in a big cage in the cobalt mines. So when the crew as a gang have to go and free her, they're breaking into the cobalt mines, dude. That's pretty sick. Did I lose you?
No.
Okay.
That is
making sure.
That is pretty sick. So I was going to let you keep going.
All right. We're about done with that though. And it's in
by that we mean this book.
and it's
Gunshot
in that
rim
scene where instead of Princess Kitana just sort of being locked in a cage while Liu Kang fights like 3 or 4 Baraka dudes, there's just the one Baraka dude and it's Baraka, and then the rest of the guards are shooting plasma beams out of their energy swords, and Kitana kind of gets herself free from the cage and then helps Liu Kang beat up all the guards and also beat up Baraka, and they drop the cage on Baraka to kill him instead of dropping it on Shiva. So that's pretty dope.
Yeah, I can't believe how many things that you just said that just don't sound like they belong in Mortal Kombat, namely the energy swords. Just a bit of a
Mostly the
departure
energy
from
swords
previous
and plasma
things.
beams. I mean,
I'm into it. I'm all for it. It's just, it is funny the degree to which it's like, huh? What? Huh?
It is. It is. I mean, at the time, they were basing this off of Mortal Kombat 3, right?
Energy swords were way in.
That's where they brought in the Cyber Lin Kuei. Motaro's got like a robotic tail. Like, they were bringing technology elements into the series at that point in the games. The games just make sense of it,
Plasma swords are not technology.
Well, I'm saying, like, they're bringing in not technology, like they're bringing in like a sci-fi element to everything, right? But it makes sense in the games. It doesn't really make sense in this movie.
Get a plasma
the
charge my plasma phone.
That Cyrax and smoke came from Outworld instead of, Earthrealm. Like, Outworld's like the magic place, and Earthrealm's like the technology place, right? And now you got Outworld making robot dudes and plasma swords and shit. It's just very fucking weird. I think that's pretty much it. I just got one last note here to clear something up from last episode. The book does identify the pyramid at the end of the fight, at the end of the movie, as the Pyramid of Giza. Not the Pyramid of
I was
Argus.
saying that as a fucking joke.
Yeah. Yeah, Pyramid of Giza, not the Pyramid of Argus.
Why would it be the...
Also, Raiden's head is fully shaved, and he's wearing leather battle gear, so that's hot.
Yep.
And that's it. That's all I want to talk about.
The book's
this fucking
bad.
Book. I definitely left some things out that I said last time, but definitely added some things in that I forgot last time.
That's why they call it a remix.
Did we say it on this recording already that if you can only read one Mortal Kombat book, it should be the 95 movie one, not this one?
No, but we just said it now.
Okay.
Also, this should absolutely go up as round 3 ? By the way.
You got it. This book is bad, and it took 6 people to make it bad.
Yeah, it sure did.
We've got our author, Jerome Preisler, wrote the book based on a story by Lawrence Kasanoff and Joshua Wexler and John Tobias, and a screenplay by Brent V. Friedman and Bryce Zabel. A lot of people worked on this. Now, I do want to say, John Tobias obviously got the story credit because they based this off of the story he wrote for Mortal Kombat 3, so it's not his fault. And Joshua Wexler is a writer on this next thing we're going to talk about on this show, Mortal Kombat Defenders of the Realm, which is also heavily borrowing from Mortal Kombat 3, so I think that's why he got the story credit too. And Lawrence Kasanoff, his name is on there because he puts his name on everything. So,
just like Frank's Red Hot, I put Lawrence Kasanoff on everything. I fucking love comedy, dude. Shit, I love jokes. Jokes are so funny. Fuck.
Lawrence Kasanoff's Red Hot. Let's talk about the next thing we're going to get into on this show.
I have no idea what that sounded like. Fuck. Probably bad. I started laughing into my cup.
Cool.
I was in a spit take. I had to punch my desk to try to get that energy out.
It's time for us to set up what we're going to be talking about on the podcast next.
It's time to go to the animated realm.
A little 13-episode animated series called Mortal Kombat Defenders of the Realm.
We're back to the TV space. We're going to be back to 1 episode a week, and we're going to truck through the whopping 4.5-hour runtime of all of Defenders of the Realm.
Hell yeah, we are. And you know what? It's a good time. I'm going to set this up for our listeners, anyone who's unfamiliar. Defenders of the Realm was a 1996 animated series produced by Threshold Entertainment. It aired in the U.S. on the USA Network as part of their... Do you remember, Corey?
Oh, God, Extreme Battle Action Block or something?
The Action Extreme Team animated
fucking
block.
Whatever. I basically said the same thing.
It aired alongside a Street Fighter cartoon that was based on the live-action Street Fighter movie, a Wing Commander cartoon that was based on the live-action Wing Commander movie, and a Savage Dragon cartoon based on the Eric Larson long-running comic book series. So we had 13 episodes, and the show acts as an alternate sequel to the 95 movie, still basically following the same story of Mortal Kombat 3, and honestly in a much better and weirder version than Annihilation did. So here's the setup. Raiden has collected Earth's champions Liu Kang, Sonya Blade, Jax with metal arms, Kitana, Sub-Zero, fucking Stryker, and Nightwolf.
Look, we made a lot of jokes last time about not liking Strikers. We're just going to say real fast, just get it over with, rip the Band-Aid off. Fuck Stryker. Stryker sucks. If you like Stryker, you're dumb.
Fucking Stryker sucks. I hate Stryker.
ASAP.
There it is. And basically, there's just a bunch of realms, not just Outworld, but seemingly a bunch of realms, opening up portals to Earth to take it over. So Sonya and the boys get deployed to beat up all the invaders and close the portals. They travel to these portals with battle jets, and they get told where to go by Nightwolf, who is essentially the computer dude monitoring all the portals and telling people where to go. Very rarely does Nightwolf get to do any actual fighting. It's just him and his dog hanging out in the combat cave, sending people out on missions.
Yeah, maybe he picked the safer job.
Maybe.
We'll have to watch and find out.
Yeah, one thing I know for sure is he's not wearing a Stone Temple Pilots t-shirt.
Which means he's a loser this time.
But we're going to see a hell of a lot of Mortal Kombat shit. It's going to be a blast, dude.
I'd certainly
hope
we are.
We're going to get to see the Centaurians. We're going to get to see the Shokan. We're going to get to see the Cyber Lin Kuei, the Reptile Men, a bunch of Amazon warrior ladies who are like a proto-Kriya civilization.
Now, Neal, I need you to promise to not elaborate, but I'm going to say one thing that we're going to see, and I just need you to let me say it and not elaborate.
Okay.
We're going to see an orb.
We're going to see an orb.
Thank you. The orb might be important. It might even be from other television shows.
We're getting Shang Tsung back. We're getting Quan Chi back. Scorpion's coming back. Cabal's going to show up. Smoke's going to come back. Kano's going to come back. It's going to rule. It's going to be awesome. And we got some familiar names also. I already mentioned Joshua Wexler, who's credited with part of the story for Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Our good friend Sean Catherine Derrick is back.
Friend of the show, the triumphant return She's here. She's ready to go.
And get this. Remember how good the music in Conquest was?
Heard of it.
Jonathan Sloat, who did the music in Conquest, does the score for the cartoon also.
Woo!
Yeah.
Woo!
I think that's all. We're going to say right now.
Yeah.
We'll hold on to the voice cast, and we'll hold on to some of the trivia and stuff about the show as we start talking about the episodes.
So coming soon, we have 13 weeks of Defenders of the Realm and some other stuff.
Yeah, we got some other things in the works also. I mean, we'll sprinkle that kind of stuff throughout. But for now, I think the plan is to jump right into Defenders of the Realm Episode 1. Combat Begins Again, I think is the episode title, next week. Here's the thing. Defenders of the Realm is not an easy show to find legally. Hasn't really been released. Only 8 episodes got released on DVD in North America.
That stands for digital video disc for everybody keeping score at home.
It's not streaming anywhere. So, but if you search for it, I will say there's a video file out there in places that is every single episode of Defenders of the Realm edited into one long 4.5 hour file. So, go find that and watch along with us as we rip through Defenders of the Realm. And that's it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go fall asleep now.
Yeah, before you do that, Corey, I think it's time for us to both go hop in our. No, we already did the Velosphere thing.
It's time for us to both go unplug all of our technology and walk into the woods because it betrayed us.
Let's do that. Let's go jump through some strange portals to follow an orb.
Oh, I fucking love orbs, dude.
Plug your stuff quickly. I'll plug mine quickly. We can get the fuck out of here.
I love orbs. I said that already. You can find me, Corey Price, at orb.gov. That's not true. But you can find me
longer.
on Twitter at Mr. Corey Price. And you can check out my other podcast that I do with my friends Liam and Mitch. It's called They Made Another One. At They Made Another on Twitter. At TMAO on Letterboxd. It's about movies and sequels and remakes and stuff. And it's They Made Another One on all your podcast stuff. And again, big fan of orbs.
Big fan of orbs and big eggs. You can find me on Twitter at Final Neal. Find me on Instagram at Final Neal Retro.
He's the last one.
Subscribe to MK Podcast in your podcast app.
Under podcaster of choice. God, we're fucked.
And follow the show on Twitter and Instagram at MK Podcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. I know it's out of date. I'll get it updated soon. Nobody watches it anyway, so it's just hasn't
They're really
been high
good
on
though.
my priority
It's ultimate
list.
MK Podcast.
And rate and review us 5 stars. Sorry, we're so angry on this one, everybody. We'll talk to you later. Oh my god.
Orb.